All right, so we're gonna make some replacement Williams cocktail speaker grills. Now I looked online to try to find replacements for these and I just couldn't find anything. I looked for some blogs to see how people have replaced them or done some homemade stuff with it. I just can't find anything. So I decided today that I'm gonna try to tackle this and see if I can come up with something. And I think I found something pretty decent. It works. It's not perfect, but anyway, I'm going to show you what I did here. And a lot of times what you'll see with these is they're dented in or they have holes or just broken out or missing. And they're made of some type of, I don't know, like flimsy plastic or something. I've never seen a speaker grill like this. Only ones I've ever seen are metal. So anyway, I've got a metal speaker grill here, and this is from a pole position cockpit. Now I've had 3 pole position cockpits, only one of them worth saving. All the others were just completely rotted out and busted. So I've stripped the parts and I've kept the parts. And I always like to keep parts because you just never know what you're going to need them for, or if someone else is going to need them. So I've kept this grill and I've come up with a pretty decent solution for this. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna show you how I did it. All right, so here's what you're gonna need. Well, this is what I had laying around. None of this stuff I went out and bought. This is just all stuff that's laying around. 3-inch ID tailpipe, and basically what that's gonna do is give me that 3-inch hole for the speaker. So what I did was I took my 3-inch pipe, set it center on my metal speaker grill, and I traced it. Took a pencil and I traced it. This is going to give us our line for our speaker hole. And everything I'm about to show you is up for interpretation. So if you can, add to it or kind of give it a twist that maybe you think would be better, go for it. You know what I mean? This is just something I came up with really quick, try to solve this issue. Okay, so I got it traced. You can see there, circle. Also, you can use a propane tank. I would recommend an empty one if you're gonna do this, because later you're gonna use this to kind of pin your tabs, and I'll show you what I'm talking about later. But that is also 3-inch, right around 3-inch. Okay, so what I've got here is a mallet, 10 snips, a ruler, measuring and drawing straight lines, a couple screws to fasten your grill in, whatever screws you want to use, a screwdriver to drill in your screws, and a drill bit for your screws. You want to drill your pilot holes for your screws. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to figure out a circle around here. So the door for a Williams cocktail is 3/4 inch thick. Okay, so I don't want to go 3/4 inch thick, because then my speaker grill would be pushed all the way out to the edge of the wood. And from what I can tell here, when this goes into the cabinet, it doesn't go all the way to the edge. And if you measure this, it's right around, I think it's 5/8. So we're just going to do 5/8 all the way around this circle. So what you do is you measure out your 5/8, or you can just eye it. Some people just know. You know what I mean? You just take and go around. This doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it to be perfect, go ahead. Make it perfect. You know what I mean? But you don't want this to be over 3/4. or it'll stick out the other side. So you just get a good idea of what you want. And then I made a couple tabs to kind of hold it in there, but you don't have to do this. This is your choice. And this is gonna be used later to hold the speaker in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is all done by eye. There's no measuring here. You can measure if you want. Me personally, it'll work for what I need it to. Okay, so now you can kind of see here. I know the camera's kind of blotting it out here. What I've got the 3-inch circle. I got 5/8 or close to it around it. And then I got my tabs, which is going to hold the speaker grill in. So now what I want to do is I want to come in here with my tin snips and I want to cut this out. So I'll start here at my tab, which now that I'm looking at my tab, it's not real straight, but that's all right. I'll just kind of wing it. You don't have to follow the lines there anyway. So we're just going to sit here and work our way around this thing. Now remember, this doesn't have to be perfect unless you want it to be. And this is just going to work for me. Okay, so there's that. So now I want to cut this up to my 3-inch circle. All right. There we go. And I'm just trying to do this quickly. That way the video is not crazy long. All right, so now I want to cut around here, the second circle. Now remember, this is 3 inches here, center, and then we measured 5/8 out, and now we're going to cut that 5/8 circle. So it'd be what, 3 inches and 5/8. Okay, and we're going to take this around. Hopefully you can kind of see this. I know it's kind of hard to see because the speaker grill just shows holes through it. We're just going to continue to cut this out. There you go. Sometimes you gotta twist them off. Okay, now we're going to go around that outside circle again on the other side. Okay, so this is what we end up with here. Now what we need to do is cut little slits all the way up to the 3-inch circle. And we're going to do it all the way around, okay? I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So we're just going to cut straight lines and right about maybe around 1/2 inch apart. Doesn't have to be perfect. You make the decision, and you want to cut up to that line is what you're doing. Cutting up to that 3-inch circle line. All right. And what we're going to do is bend these up around this pipe, and then we're going to hammer them down on the pipe and get them nice and straight with each other. So that way we have a nice 3-inch circle that's going to go right in to our speaker hole on our door. Now I'm kind of rushing this. When you do this, you probably want to take your time and do this right. I just don't want this video to be too long. And plus, I'm I've got a few of these already. Okay, so I've cut all my lines, you can see there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, like so, and then we're gonna bend these up around it. So what I need is a flathead screwdriver here, which I forgot to grab. Then you want to put this down on a hard surface, which my table is not. And you're just going to press down on this pipe, and you're going to bend these up. And you want to try not to move your pipe. So you're just going around, like so. And these don't have to be all the way up. You just got to get them up to where you can hit them with the hammer. So we're going to take a little hammer, and we're going to bend it around this pipe. But you do want to make sure that your pipe stays center when you're bending these, because you want these to be bent up around the pipe. Okay, I'm going to finish over here. Pressure on the pipe. You're just going around. I don't know if you can see this, and I'm just bending these up. Okay. Now, we're going to transfer this to the floor because I need a hard surface. Because what I'm going to do is take my hammer, and I'm going to pound these against this pipe. And I'm going to flatten them out the best I can. Now I need a hard surface like some concrete, so I'm going to back up here. See if I can stay in view for you. Shop's a mess here. All right. Now you want to make sure that this is on there all the way. What you're doing is you're just snug it around that pipe, and it's just going to ensure it's going to go in that hole, your cabinet, your speaker hole in your cabinet. Now if you scratch your grill, which I haven't yet, but if you do, you just paint it. You know what I mean? We'll make sure it's right there on that 3-inch. Okay. Now the fun part, getting it off the pipe. Get off here. Okay, now we're done with our pipe, our hammer. And this is what we end up with. Okay, now we're going to insert this into the hole of the speaker on the door. I'm going to adjust this camera here. Just give me a second. I know this is kind of sloppy, guys. Definitely not much of an editor or movie maker. Okay, so here's the one I did before. And I'll kind of show you what I did to get it in there. I set this where I wanted it on here, like so. And I took a ball peen hammer and just easily pressed it in. And it went in there nice and snug, as you can see. And this is the metal one now. And once I got it in there where I wanted it, I bent my tabs over. And I took and flattened them. And then I took my ball peen hammer and I went around the inside. And I pressed these against the cabinet, like so. And it really put a lot of pressure, the metal to the door, and I didn't even have screws in this thing, and I couldn't get it out. I mean, it was really in there, but you know, you can put screws in there if you want, like I did here, or you could even just not have these tabs. If you wanted to just, you know, ball peen hammer it to the wood, and then maybe run a drill bit through the side in here, and just put your screws on the inside. So it's completely up to you. And here is the finished product. Let me grab my phone off here. I think it turned out pretty good. I don't know. What do you guys think? Nice and flat, strong. I mean, you could kick that thing. It ain't coming out. So anyway, it's Williams Cocktail aftermarket speaker. So tell me what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas, you know, maybe some pointers if you guys have done this before. I looked everywhere on YouTube. I looked everywhere online. I couldn't find anything on this. So anyway, let me know what you think down there. All right. Thanks, guys.